Hi guys, it's me again and welcome to Sunday Storytime. Yes, I am wearing the same hoodies that I was wearing last week because I filmed it on the exact same day. Just gonna keep it real with you guys. Today's Sunday Storytime, as you can see, Flatmate from hell. When I was at university, I stayed on campus for my first year, second year and my final year. I stayed in like the same kind of area because we have two sides of campus. One side of campus, it's mostly like final years and master students. Then one side of campus is mostly like first years, new students, and then also students who have like a sports scholarship. And so where I stayed was where like the first year stayed. But my flat in my second year, it was like right at the top of the building. There was only 4 of us who shared the flat. One flatmate, he was never ever around. So then it was basically like a 3 people flat, and then the guy that was with at the time used to come over and stay over all the time. So everything, you know, it's always like honeymoon period. Like everyone gets on like a house on fire when you first move into halls. Like it was really nice, and I remember we used to speak about going to Wagamama's together and just having a wonderful time together. And as time went on, like people's personalities started to come out more. Like one of the flatmates, she was nice. She was nice. She just had a way, like she wasn't of commenting some of the things she said and some of the ways she said it, like rubbed me the wrong way. But other than that, like she was a nice girl. Like we see each other around campus now, which I think you know, she's one of those people. We see each other around campus. I know she's seen me several times and literally just walked past me like I'm a ghost. And you know what, one day I just screamed her name. I was like, hi BB. Not that I really care, but I'm like so like rude. Like don't look at me in the eye and then look away and pretend that you're blind, because I know you don't wear glasses unless you wore glasses in like the last year. Anyway, don't really care about that. But there's this one flatmate we had. So his room was next to mine. It was close to the kitchen. Drove me bananas. Like he was nice at first, but then he just turned into a bit of a poo face. So like he smoked in his room. If you're a smoker, none of my business, I don't really care. But he used to smoke in his room, and the smell from the smoke would come underneath the door, into the corridor and into my room. I'm not a smoker, nobody in my family smokes. As far as I'm aware, none of my friends smoke. Well, nobody that I'm around daily smokes, so the smell is not something that my nose is inclined to. I don't like the smell of it at all. So even like when I walk past someone on the street, it's like I'm not a fan at all. Like if you smoke, you smoke, but personally I don't like the smell of it, especially not in my bedroom, not in my kitchen. Like, and one, you're not even supposed to smoke in halls anyway, so like that was the thing that I didn't like at all. And obviously like we'd mentioned it to him, or what we did, like because I worked for residences, so kind of told the mentors who passed on the message to him like anonymously. Well, it was anonymous. They didn't say, hey, the girl next door, your flatmate and the guy that we work with is complaining that you guys smoke, that you smoke. It would just be like a case of they're like, hey, just to remind you of the rules, you're not supposed to be smoking, which is a really handy service that my uni has, is that if you have things that you want to raise about your flatmates, you can always go for residence mentors. So that's what I did with the smoking thing, because I tried to mention it in like a jokey way in the kitchen, didn't get the hint, so he continued to smoke in his room. So I thought that might be a bit more of an official way, because obviously they got the uniform and they know that most conversations are kind of logged. So once you start with one conversation, it then is escalated to the managers, like it's a bit more seriously. But also it was just not okay, like it smelled. But that was strike 1. Strike 2, his dishes, like sometimes he would just let them pile up in the sink, and I don't really care to a certain extent, but when we have one sink between 3 people and you've piled up your stuff in the sink. And also he never used to, like when he used to wash his dishes, like one of my big pet peeves is if you wash your dishes and your food goes in, like you've got your bits of spaghetti and your noodles and your little bits of like beans in the sink, clean it out. I don't want to clean it out, that's gross. Do it yourself. And that used to gross me out so much, because he never used to clean it. Like even just thinking of like yeah, no, it's disgusting. And he used to do that all the time. Like I couldn't stand it. Another thing that he used to do is he used to blare music out. Like I'm not one who's too fussed about loud music, because I could sleep through Notting Hill Carnival. Like I could be sitting on the float and I could fall asleep. Like noise is not really a thing that really bothers me. What did bother me is the fact that he would blare his music, and sometimes like it was so loud and it's a point where like I don't want to, and it's loud for hours. Like it might be loud from maybe like 10 p.m. and now this is like 1 o'clock, and he would go downstairs he might go down to smoke or to shop or to get his food, and he'd leave his music blaring. And I remember once it was so loud, and me and the other girl both came out of the room, knocked on his door like a million times, and I'm talking like doof 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 doof, you know, like doof 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 doof, police, yeah, like that, and he, like, there was no response. And do you know what we did? So we were heading back to our rooms, and she was like, I'm just gonna call security. We were heading back to our rooms, and we see him like coming in the front door, and we were literally like, are you kidding? Like, we literally just looked at each other like, are you kidding me? Like, and she even, like, we had a conversation about it the next day in the kitchen, like, with, like, not with him, but with each other, like, how can you blare music out so loud like that, so late, because you're not actually supposed, like, in residences, the rule is, like, you're not supposed to actually play music that loud at unsociable, like, or even at all after 11 p.m, like, between the hours of 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. it's supposed to be, like, silent, because obviously, like, people study, people sleep, whatever, and so it was just like, so she complained to security, I didn't, but rather her, like, someone was doing it, so she did. But I remember just being like, we both were like, how can you go downstairs and go, like, we don't know how long he was gone for, how can you go downstairs and not turn your music off? Like, that's selfish and it's rude, like, it's annoying. Or say those, like, little things, like, in the kitchen, like, hey, who's got this, or has someone taken this, or someone moved this. He just sometimes wouldn't reply in the WhatsApp group, or the it's not me, but it's like, I know it's you. Or the worst, don't even get me started. One of the things that really do you know what, if you're watching this, me and you are cool, but you are so irritating, like, so irritating, because you just don't know how to live with people. I don't know if people clean up after you when you live at home, but living in halls, like, you need to learn how to, like, be clean, like, live with people. We lived in a small flat, there was only 3 of us using the kitchen, because our actual other 4 flatmates did not use the kitchen, only the freezer sometimes, and, like, his mum used to come in and cook the food if she was cooking in the oven. Other than that, he was not about at all. So yeah, I didn't hate you, I just didn't like the way, like, a lot of the things that you did, like, in the communal areas. Or so the biggest thing that used to irritate me so much, so I would come from work maybe midnight, and I don't like eating in my room, like, unless I'm tired, or unless, like, but I prefer to eat in the kitchen, wash my dishes, pack them away, and be done with it. Like, that's what I prefer to do. Unless I'm really having one of those days where I just want to be cozy in bed, like, I'm not really the biggest fan of eating in my room, because then I know that if I eat in my room, get comfortable, lock the door behind me, I don't really want to leave, and then the dishes, they stack, they pile, they stack, they pile. But I prefer to be like, this is my room, this is my study space, and this is the kitchen where I eat, wash up, clean, blah blah. And especially because it was such a small flat, so it was like, it was nice having things that way. I felt like I lived in a real house, you know. So I'd come home from work, maybe, like, or even not from work, sometimes I'd come home from my mum's, or I'd come home from the guy who I was with, his parents' house. We'd get back at, like, midnight, midnight, like, we'd get back late. All you want to do is sit in the kitchen, eat our food, that we would have brought something up with us, eat our food, and then go to bed. And I used to, oh my goodness, I remember, like, and it didn't happen just once, it happened multiple times. He'd have, like, maybe, like, his brother, his cousins, and, like, his friends over. 1, they'd be smoking in the bedroom, so that smell would hit you as soon as you walked in. 2, and yes, fair enough, it's the weekend, and people don't think that everyone's at home during the weekend, but I don't care, like, don't do it. And then, 2, you get into the kitchen, and they'd have, like, KFC, McDonald's, it was always one of the 2, and the stuff would be sprawled. Like, we had one circle table, it'd be, like, there'd be rubbish all over the table, like, bits of sauce all over the table. I remember once there was a gherkin sitting on the chair, oh my goodness, and they'd be gone, they'd be disappeared, like, the room would be empty. Like, I'd knock on the door and be like, hey, is anyone going to clean it? Like, but no one to say, clean up your mess, and no one's there. The bin would be full to the brim, or they'd just stack rubbish next to the bin, waiting, and that would be, like, on a Saturday night. Then it'd be like that all day Sunday, and then they'd be waiting for the cleaners to come and do it on a Monday. And yes, we did have cleaners in halls, but I don't care. You are not a baby, you're rubbish, put it in the bin. The cleaner's job isn't to be your parent. They're supposed to, like, in an ideal world, like it's student life anyway, but in an ideal world, they shouldn't be cleaning up all your rubbish that you leave all over the table. Like, that's not their job to do it, it's your job to do it. If you eat something and you're finished with it, put it in the bin. Yeah, so I spent a lot of time in my room in second year. I didn't really like, after, especially once we got to term 2, I barely spoke to my flatmates. I didn't really like them. The girl was nice and she was nice to be around, but he was nice, like, they were okay, like, as people, but they just, like, the way he lived was just a bit, like, irritating. And so sometimes it's like, I'd rather not even see your face, because I might not hold my tongue one day. But guys, the worst of the worst is, so we bought a microwave. It was £34, paid £17 each. We went halves on it, me and him, because she had her own in her room, and the other flatmate, like I said, was nowhere to be found. And so he bought it from Tesco's. I'm sure he got it on his discount, but that, like, I didn't really care. It was £35, and he was like, yeah, we'll spend it, like, if you just give me £17.50, and then whoever takes the microwave home at the end of the year, if it's still like perfectly functioning, one person will take it home, the other person will give them the money for it. So when he was moving out, he was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take the microwave. I was like, yeah, okay, sure, fine. And he was like, oh, just send me your bank details and I will send you the money. I was like, oh, okay, perfect. It's been over a year, almost 2 years. It's been almost 2 years. I'm still waiting for my £17.50. I WhatsApped him a couple of times, like not like one after the other, but I WhatsApped him and was like, yeah, just remind me, oh, I forgot. Then WhatsApped again, and then he like didn't open it. Then I sent him 2 like messages, and you know when iMessage tells you it's been delivered and it's seen, nothing. So then I was just like, do you know what? Karma's gonna punish you for that £17.50. You're gonna lose £17.50. Like you're gonna like it's gonna fall down a drain or something like that. Do you know what? You're gonna lose £20. Like I generally thought like I believe in karma, so karma deals with people. So I generally believe that, yeah, because he also, if he said like, no, I don't feel like I want to give you the whole amount, blah, but like if like maybe just £10 because we both did use it throughout the, like I would have come up with that. But don't be like yeah and then nothing. Like, and also I would make sure to kind of message around like the end of the month, because that's when most people get paid, towards the end of the month. But lo and behold, I'm still waiting. So if you're watching this, send me £17.50. Or you can send it through PayPal. I'll put my email down below and you can literally just send it to me through PayPal. I'd be eternally grateful if you sent me my £17.50 through PayPal. Yeah, so guys, yeah, living in halls isn't all hunky-dory. Like, you hear, like, some ghost stories about living in halls. But I just had one flatmate from, okay, let me not call him a flatmate from hell, but he was just really, like, he was just not the easiest person to live with. And it's funny because initially, like, sometimes I like things done certain ways, but I am open to compromise. So my 3rd year living in halls, my 3rd year was perfect. I shared with 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so I shared basically we had a studio flat at the end, but then I shared with like the kitchen with like 3 guys, and they were like great to live with. Like we literally like perfect, like they were the perfect flat. They were the best way to end my uni experience, was living with these 3 guys, because it was so good. Like one of them, he barely came out, like he had family over sometimes, but like he was still really, really nice. Like when he did come in, I don't think he spoke much English, so that's why sometimes he wouldn't really respond when we said something, because I don't think he really understood. But like other than that, he'd always say hi. Like, oh bless his soul, like sometimes like say we're trying to use a cook or something like that, and he is too, he'll be like, oh sorry, but like no, like cook your food, it's fine. Like he was super nice. And then the 2 other guys that I stayed with, I made like Dan and Stephen. Great. Stephen. It's Dan and Stephen. Great flatmates. So they were so much fun, and I loved that we didn't spend loads of time on. We did go on Nando's dates together, but we'd like cook in the kitchen and we'd just stand, have a chat, then we'd go and have our dinner. Like they were really, really, really nice guys to live with, and they were so good to just literally just chat to. Were really, really lovely people. Sorry guys, I keep looking that way because I'm sitting in the car, and obviously like I just keep looking out to see if people are around. But yeah, living in halls isn't always great. It's literally just a bit like potluck, and so I actually pulled the long straw in my 3rd year because I had a really nice flat and really nice flatmates. So guys, again, if you enjoyed this story, please give this video a thumbs up and make sure that you're subscribed to my channel so that you always get updates for whenever I upload a new video. Yeah, subscribe to my channel. Toodles!